Your neighbours, yeah. I mean, apparently they've been to Disneyland recently. She's going to add hotels and restaurants to her brand. What's this all about?
I think there's no better way to try to bury a tacky twerking video than the wholesome image that is Disneyland, right?
When their behaviour became obnoxious, self-serving, and rankly hypocritical. Sadly, millions of people around the world will watch this series and they'll believe it. They'll believe the smears about Britain and our monarchy, that we're a bunch of bigoted and hateful people.
Time, I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, for a very special guest. It is Kinsey Schofield, the one and only from the United States of America. Looks like a good time not to be in LA, actually.
I made my escape.
In today's video, we're diving deep into the drama surrounding Harry and Meghan after Piers Morgan completely destroyed them with his latest take on their Disneyland outing. You won't believe what happens next in this ongoing saga. Stick around as we break it all down, from the strategic PR stunts to the backlash they're facing now. Let's get into it.
Well, Harry and Meghan's Netflix series, released to the world this morning, is packed with, well, they're not really revelations, are they? It's sort of rehashed old revelations with a new twist. As it turns out, we've apparently been wrong all along. Britain is a nasty, racist hellhole where only magnificent Meghan stood up to all this. And the world's biggest victims are not the people of Ukraine or the people battling COVID or people struggling in a devastating cost of living crisis. No, the world's biggest victims right now are the Duke and Duchess of Netflix. And don't take my word for it.
So, the stage was set. Harry and Meghan, in a move that was supposed to be a sweet family outing to Disneyland, have turned this trip into the latest PR firestorm. On June 4th, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were spotted strolling through the theme park, supposedly marking their daughter Lilibet's birthday. It sounds cute, right? A royal family enjoying a wholesome day out. But it's never that simple with Harry and Meghan, is it?
Taking all of the, you're distracting from all the headlines about how low can you go.
Yeah.
With like, look at how cute Lily's birthday cake is. So
According to many critics, what looked like an innocent family moment quickly spiraled into a full-blown PR disaster. The optics, absolutely screaming strategic setup. Piers Morgan, of course, was the first to point it out, and he wasn't holding back.
Kendra was a bit wet and dank and damp and horrible, but, you know, I think it's going to be good this week.
Well, I hope so, too, because I did not bring damp clothing.
Did you not? That was very unwise. Well, you can always buy some, you know.
That's true.
Let's talk about the dreaded pair from Montecito, Meghan and Harry.
My neighbours.
Your neighbours, yeah. I mean, apparently they've been to Disneyland recently. She's going to add hotels and restaurants to her brand. What's this all about?
I think there's no better way to try to bury a tacky twerking video than the wholesome image that is Disneyland, right? Because now you're taking all of the, you're distracting from all the headlines about how low can you go.
Yeah.
With like, look at how cute Lily's birthday cake is. So I do think that what we're seeing is Meghan trying to change public perception with the children by using the children and pushing this mom of
the children who she never wanted to use for publicity, obviously.
Obviously not. No,
So that's changed.
We're not allowed to see them, but for some reason she's still posting them on the internet. Which I think I'd love to talk to a psychologist about how if you're a weirdo that is curious.
Here's where it gets interesting. Piers Morgan, the sharp-tongued commentator, absolutely tore into Harry and Meghan's Disneyland appearance. He took to social media, tweeting celebrities who constantly post pics of their kids to promote their parenting credentials, but block their faces out like this to pretend they care about their privacy. Make me chuckle. Ouch, Piers. He was basically calling them out for using their kids as props while pretending to care about privacy. And you know what? He's got a point.
Yeah, nobody set out to destroy you. You destroyed yourselves in this country with your ludicrous, hypocritical behaviour. The truth be told, what you just said is complete and utter garbage. Harry and Meghan's romance, engagement and marriage were all greeted with ecstatic joy by the British media, the public and the royal family that they've all now abandoned. That's the truth. Not Harry and Meghan's truth, but the actual truth. The first 3 hours of this Netflix series paint a very different, far uglier picture of this country and our royal family.
8 days after the relationship became public, I put out a statement calling out the racist undertones of articles and headlines that were written by the British press.
I wasn't thinking about how race played a part in any of this.
I sometimes call the Commonwealth Empire 2.0 because that is what it is.
There is a huge level of unconscious bias. The thing with unconscious bias is it's actually no one's fault. But
Now, we all know how much the Sussexes talk about privacy, how they fled the UK for a quieter life away from the media's prying eyes. But now, here they are, at one of the most public places in the world, Disneyland, with paparazzi capturing every single moment, and their children's faces blurred in post-production. So, what's going on here? Is it a family outing, or is it just another calculated move in their ongoing PR game?
Enticing people that become obsessed with these types of things by teasing them with just these little bits.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of celebrities just don't put their children out at all. I mean, even I didn't do it, not because I'm a celebrity, but I didn't want pictures of my children on the internet. Now, when they're older, they're 18, that's fine, but not with...
It doesn't stop there. The Disneyland photos, with their perfectly curated moments, didn't sit well with a lot of people. Critics began to question the entire narrative. If you care about privacy so much, why are you willingly putting your children in front of cameras? Why make the trip to Disneyland a headline-making event? Why skip the VIP services and choose to wander through the crowds, knowing cameras will follow you everywhere?
When they were 10 or 5, or, when they were little kids, you don't put pictures of them on the internet. You just don't do it.
Right.
Because there's a lot of weird people out there, and you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
So for them to do it is really bizarre.
Yeah, I just think you're increasing the chances of attracting somebody that would hide in the bushes or, just like the inappropriate.
Many insiders have claimed that this wasn't a mistake. No, this was a calculated move. They knew exactly what they were doing. They wanted the media attention. And when the attention came, they were ready with their responses.
And marriage were all greeted with ecstatic joy by the British media, the public and the royal family that they've all now abandoned. That's the truth. Not Harry and Meghan's truth, but the actual truth.
And as expected, after Piers Morgan's tweet went viral, the Sussex camp went into damage control mode. Social media exploded with reactions. Some fans defended the couple, calling it a sweet family moment, but others weren't buying it. Many pointed out the glaring contradictions in the couple's stance on privacy.
He sits on the BBC and complains about
given that he is he's talking about himself as a major target for almost every madman on the planet.
Yes.
So, how do Harry and Meghan respond to all this backlash? Are they going to keep quiet? No, of course not. They've got a strategy, and it involves striking back not just at Piers Morgan, but at anyone who dares to challenge their narrative. According to insiders, they're considering legal action against Piers for his comments. Yep, another lawsuit in the making. When things get messy, you can bet they'll reach for their lawyers, not a mop.
Right.
Ringing on doorbells
and
wondering if they might be in there. What was that all about?
That was so bizarre.
I know.
That was, and it just crushes his entire argument that he's fearing for his life with every step he takes.
But let's step back for a moment. What we're seeing here is part of a much bigger pattern. A couple that claims to want privacy yet constantly puts themselves in the public eye. They go on lavish vacations, launch podcasts, release documentaries, all while claiming to be fighting for privacy. It's starting to look more and more like a performance than genuine activism.
How she is so similar to my mum. She has the same compassion, she has the same empathy, she has the same confidence. She has this warmth about her.
Who's that?
And it doesn't just stop with the photos and social media posts. Meghan's podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, has been struggling to gain traction. Reviews have been lukewarm at best. Critics are calling it shallow, out of touch, and lacking authenticity. So, what's the next move? Create another viral moment. Of course.
This is like one of 3 doors you knocked on randomly. So I would say that I mean, the problem with Harry and Meghan is that they constantly contradict themselves between Meghan's Disneyland photos.
So, where does this leave Harry and Meghan? They're clearly in damage control mode, but the cracks in their carefully crafted image are starting to show. Is this just another PR misfire, or is there something more behind their constant media maneuvering? We'll have to wait and see. But one thing's for sure, Harry and Meghan's attempt to rebrand. Their image is becoming more and more difficult as people begin to see through the cracks. What do you think? Is Harry and Meghan's fight for privacy just a performance, or are they genuinely trying to escape the limelight? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this ongoing royal drama.
He's painted a very different, far uglier picture of this country and our royal family.
8 days after the relationship became public, I put out a statement calling out the racist undertones of articles and headlines that were written by the British press.
I wasn't thinking.
And just when we thought things couldn't get worse for Harry and Meghan, Piers Morgan turned up the heat. In true Morgan style, he didn't hold back in his latest commentary. He made it clear the optics are horrible, and the contradictions between their privacy narrative and their actions are too glaring to ignore. His tweet went viral, and the backlash was immediate. But Piers didn't just stop at a tweet, he took it to the next level, roasting them on TV, making his point loud and clear. Harry and Meghan's entire image is nothing more than a well-choreographed PR stunt. They can't claim to want privacy while simultaneously setting up photo ops that scream, "Look at me, look at me."
Doors. Meghan and Harry campaign to keep children off of social media. They do huge campaigns. They erected, an art installation in New York to keep children off of social media. I do.
The most glaring issue, however, is the hypocrisy. Harry and Meghan continue to scream privacy while simultaneously broadcasting their lives to the world. From Netflix specials and exclusive interviews to podcasts and photo ops at Disneyland, move feels staged. It's a pattern that's been emerging more and more, and fans are starting to notice stake their Netflix deal. For instance, the multi-million-dollar agreement promised to give us an inside look into their lives. But what we got instead was a series of rehearsed moments designed to garner sympathy and public approval. It's almost as if they want to have it both ways: the fame, the media attention, and the privileges of royalty, but without the responsibility that comes with it. Just consider how many times they've talked about protecting their children from the public eye, yet there they are, posting and releasing pictures that include them in highly public settings. And let's not forget the blurred-out faces, just enough mystery to tease the public, but not enough to keep things truly private. Social media has been on fire in the aftermath of this Disneyland debacle. Supporters and critics alike have weighed in, with some defending Harry and Meghan's right to enjoy a family day at the park, but others, they see right through it. One viral tweet summed it up: privacy when convenient, publicity when profitable. It's clear the public is starting to get fed up with the Sussexes' constant contradictions. Even longtime fans are starting to question their motives. They've built an entire empire on being real, on being the modern royals who care about privacy and authenticity. But lately it all seems a little too manufactured, like they're just playing a game. And when that happens, the public begins to see through the facade. So, what's next for Harry and Meghan? After this latest PR misstep, we're at a crossroads. Will they continue their quest for fame and relevance, or will they finally step back and let things settle? If they keep pushing the narrative of victimhood, they may risk becoming the thing they've criticized the royals they once sought to escape from. At this point, it's clear Harry and Meghan can't have it both ways. If they want to reclaim their image, it's going to take more than another photo op or another lawsuit. The public is tired of the contradictions, and with every move they make, it's becoming more and more difficult to separate the real from the performative. So, what do you think, folks? Is the Sussex brand on the brink of collapse, or do they still have a chance to regain their relevance? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on this royal drama. You won't want to miss what happens next.
Pointed out or identified within yourself, you then need to make it right.
Yep, we're all racists, apparently. Sounds like a different country, but let's be clear, Britain's one of the most tolerant and multicultural nations in the world. We celebrated the glamorous modern flair of the new young royals. We eulogized the newly biracial monarchy as the fresh face of 21st century Britain. I wrote newspaper columns about it myself, including on the day of the wedding. The press and public only turned on Harry and Meghan when their behavior became obnoxious, self-serving, and rankly hypocritical. Sadly, millions of people around the world will watch this series and they'll believe it. They'll believe the smears about Britain and our monarchy, that we're a bunch of bigoted and hateful people. They even blamed Brexit for the racism, which apparently